Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we? Awesome. My name is Kevin Richland. I have the honor and the privilege to be the principal of Willard Alternative High School. This is my second year here, second graduation. I'm so proud of the graduates. We are also proud of the graduates that are up on stage here tonight. As you can see from the program, we're going to begin with an honor song, so I'd like to invite Mr. Thomas Kickingwoman to come up, and if you would all please rise. Yes, please rise. I'm sorry, I should have asked you to remain standing as you play the Star Spangled Banner. We want to welcome all of you as we celebrate the Willard graduating class of 2018. I want to take a moment to introduce a few distinguished guests in the audience tonight. First, Executive Regional Director, Ms. Julie Robitaille. School Board Chair, Ms. Marcia Holland. And finally, Missoula County Public Schools Superintendent, Mr. Mark Thane. Graduation celebrations are always an emotional time for students, families, and educators. As Amanda Dell often says, graduation is 12 years in the making. You have worked hard to be on this stage, overcome obstacles, struggled, and persevered to achieve graduation. The emotion we feel comes from a deep sense of pride in your accomplishment. As some of you know, I like to tell stories. So, to the graduating class of 2018, I have one final story to tell. And I want to apologize beforehand if I get a little emotional in telling my story. First, you all need to know that we as educators are an emotional lot. We know from long experience that this will be the last time we will see many of you. Soon you will be graduates, and high school will be a distant memory. You will go off to open new chapters in your stories. And for every new chapter that opens, another must close. The second is because this story is very personal. Your graduation reminds me of one of the final trips I took with my father not long before his own passing. My father had read about a spectacular road trip through Yellowstone National Park and asked if I wouldn't mind taking him on one last journey. I happily obliged. We traveled east from Missoula to discover the treasures of the West. Whoever wrote the article spurring our adventure should be applauded. It was more spectacular than we could imagine. We drove through Yellowstone National Park's northern section, made our way over to Cook City, and down the Beartooth Highway before coming home. Once in Yellowstone, we passed through our favorite section of the park, the Lamar Valley, which I liken to Montana's Garden of Eden. It is a breathtaking valley that majestically opens up as the car ascends above a small rise. It is a sacred place. We stopped to marvel at the animals grazing in the valley below as we made our way toward Cook City. And we passed through the remnants of Yellowstone's devastating 1988 fires, noticing what at first seemed a tragedy. Tall silhouettes of former trees stood bare in their thousands, reminders of a once vibrant forest. However, on closer examination, we saw new growth under the watchful eyes of those former trees. Unbeknownst to us at the time, many western seedlings need fire to germinate. The high heat melts resin in tightly packed cones, freeing seed from cones, sparking new life. From there, saplings needed sunlight and room to grow. The older trees provided both, allowing sunlight to reach the forest floor and leaving space to secure roots. The older trees protected during wind and snowstorms, helping the community thrive. My father and I thought what great comfort it must be to those young trees, surrounded by their ancestors' watchful silhouettes. We wished them luck as we continued on our journey. You all have your own story, but each of you share a common bond. You all attended Willard. As such, you left your mark on all of us. We shared your joys and struggles. We listened to your stories. We watched you grow and mature into fine young women and men. Turns out all you needed was a little sunlight and room to grow. We, the Willard community of parents, guardians, extended family, friends, support staff, and educators, wish you all the best on your journeys. At this moment, I'd like to welcome up Ms. Janelle Lawrence.
Good evening. I am Janelle Lawrence, and I am the teacher librarian here at Willard. And tonight, I'm going to talk about some retirements that we are having. This year, 2 Willard staff members will be retiring. We celebrated Doug Umbaugh's retirement in February, and next week we will be saying goodbye to our head cook and bottle washer, Kenny Weiler. When Kenny said that she was retiring, she asked that no one have any celebrations or make a fuss. But of course we had to do something to honor someone who had been working for MCPS for 23 years, with the last 14 of them being at Willard. At this time, I would like to invite Kenny's daughter, Emily Weiler, up to say a few words.
Feels weird being on this side. I'm usually out there. For those of you that don't know me, which is most of you, I'm Emily Weiler. I am our head cook's daughter. And she has invited me to this wonderful event for 14 years, and I've always been really excited to join her, be a part of this event, and celebrate this incredible school. And this year it's a little bit bittersweet because it's our last official one because she's retiring. She and Kevin and the staff allowed me to come up here and say a few things, and the look on her face is totally making it worth it right now. She's worked for the school district for 23 years, 14 of them here at Willard, and I've never seen her so happy at a job. She just beams when she talks about this school. She loves the place and the staff and the teachers and the students, and I hope you guys know how much she just adores you all. And I've been thankfully able to visit many times and gotten to know some of these wonderful faces, and she's just so proud of you. I think it's safe to say that Willard loves her right back. And with Janelle's help, I was able to pass around a book the last couple weeks for folks to write sweet memories and well wishes. And reading through it has made me so proud. She's accomplished so much and made a heck of an impression, and it makes me very proud. I'm happy to have shared her with so many young people that could also enjoy her love and her joy and her motherly attitude that I was lucky enough to have. I wanted to end with just a few of my favorite quotes from this book that sums up, I think, our feelings about her. You are by far the most lively and kind lunch lady I've ever had. I'll miss your booming, joyful voice. The new Willard won't be as fun without you. However, your smile will still radiate through the halls for many years to come. You make Willard home. And never underestimate the power and influence of a lunch lady. I'm so proud of you, Mom, and excited for this next chapter. I get to see her even more now. And I would like to bring Janelle back up to present a very sweet gift from the staff.
You've had on students and staff at Willard. She has an uplifting spirit and a laugh that fills the building. I am not kidding. You can hear her laugh from the first floor all the way up to the third floor. She is going to be greatly missed, but the staff wanted to help her start retirement out on the right foot. So we got together and got her gift certificates to some of her favorite places. And of course that includes a gift certificate to Disney. Kenny, her favorite, yes. Kenny, we want you to know how much we appreciate everything you've done for us at Willard. We wish you all the best in this next great adventure. Congratulations, Kenny.
We have many wonderful traditions at Willard, and one of those is allowing the students to have a few words. This morning we had a graduation celebration for the graduates from this trimester. We also have two students who have been asked to speak on behalf of the student body tonight. And I would like to invite Mr. Patrick Beckwith to come up to introduce our first student speaker.
Good evening. My name is Pat. This is my first year teaching at Willard. Yes, this is my first year teaching, period. My first day at Willard, I'll have you know that one of these fine seniors told me I looked like a square. But I'll also tell you that each one of these seniors helped me transform from Pat the Square to Patagucci. And the student that has the opportunity to speak to us tonight, that I get to introduce, influenced me in that transformation and influenced many people around her. So I would like to introduce to you Matilda Kushner, better known as Tilly. Before she takes the stage, let me take a moment to appreciate Tilly as an exemplar Willard student. To convey and just show you how special she is as a person, I want to share with everyone how she positively influenced those around her. Tilly joined my class of freshmen a few weeks into the school year. Her presence in my classroom immediately changed the learning environment. She brought charm and inquisition that others fed off of and learned from. Freshmen that once receded from class discussions or felt apprehensive to participate began to engage and actively learn. Tilly's consistent positive attitude and uplifting comments to others truly enabled me to teach and connect with more of my students. She unintentionally helped me become a better teacher. We are truly grateful for the person that Tilly is and her compassion and confidence. And so without further ado, I present you Tilly Kushner.
Okay, I just need to put this right here though. It's just a little troll. It's just gonna have to stay there. Okay, so I've already been emotional, so if I start crying and you don't understand me, I'm so sorry, but you're just gonna have to pull through with that because I just can't help it. Anyway, hello, my name is Matilda Kushner, and this evening I have the honor and the privilege of standing before you and my classmates of 2018, sharing how my time at Willard has helped shape me into the person I am today. If I could go back and change anything about going to 5 different high schools and somehow magically ending up at Willard, I would never have wished one single day of that period of my life away. You see, upon reflection, I have come to understand it truly was a beautiful chapter in my journey of life. During that chapter, I have experienced some of the most difficult and personally challenging moments in this chapter of my story. However, in the midst of those challenges, I have learned some very important lessons about life and about myself. And I've met some of the most brilliant people on this journey. I didn't want to thank anyone specifically, but I need to do this because this is really important to me. But I would love to thank my best friend, Skylar Stanley. Okay. If it weren't for Willard, I would never have met my twin flame. I will never forget when you approached me in journalism and told me you thought I was a famous Australian Instagram model. I kindly responded with, I am flattered, but I'm actually only 15 and I haven't lived in Australia for 7 years. Thanks, though. Thank you for being my family, and even though none of them were able to make it tonight, it means so much to me that you made it tonight and are constantly rooting for me. I want to thank you, not because you are my best friend, but because you have been a major role model to many students at Willard, and especially for the writers in the Willard Wire. Your legacy for the paper will continue to live on. Thank you for showing me what a badass, resilient warrior looks like. Life is difficult, and I think we have both realized that by now. Whether you believe me or not, you are kicking everything being thrown at you in the ass. You have been through everything and more and have always come out of it stronger and a better person. You are never alone, and you know that. We have been there for each other for years, and that will never end. Your hardship is my hardship. But keep your head up just high, just like I know you can. You have so much love in your family and from me. I love you, and I have never had a friend like you, and I am so grateful every day because of it. You are powerful, you are beautiful, and you are strong, and do not forget that. Throughout this messy and beautiful season of my life, I have learned that when we struggle and walk through challenges, I can either allow them to make me bitter, or I can transform that pain into something beautiful. I could get discouraged, throw my hands in the air, and just give up. Or I can choose to use the struggle to fuel my passion to make my life better and better for others. I have decided that, for me, quitting is never an option. I'm not saying it hasn't been tempting to quit. However, looking back, I can truly say I am so glad I pushed through. I focused on the good around me and the phenomenal people supporting me. My favorite author, Roald Dahl, once said, "A person who has good thoughts can never be ugly. You can have a wonky nose and a crooked mouth and a double chin and stick out teeth, but if you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams and you will always look lovely."
This quote has always resonated with me because I learned to maintain a mentality of gratitude even in the smallest of things. A positive mindset will carry you farther through life than any negative thought could ever reach. I also made the decision to never allow myself to be reduced to being a victim of my circumstances. As my mom would say, there is always an answer. There is so much more that I learned during my time at Willard, however, time just does not permit to share them all. A summary of the 3 most important lessons are: 1. Always treat people with kindness and respect. You can never truly know what path someone is walking and how painful it is for them. Whether large or small, we all face obstacles in life. Nobody's pain is less than another. We must endeavor to be kind, gentle, and to support one another, and to build each other up rather than break one another down. We are all in this together. As Osho, the great Indian spiritual leader, teacher, and mystic said, nobody is superior, nobody is inferior, but nobody is equal either. People are simply unique, incomparable. You are you, I am I. I have to contribute my potential to life. You have to contribute your potential to life. I have to discover my own being. You have to discover your own being. Number 2, do not let anybody else's opinion influence how you feel about yourself or the things you are passionate about. You alone define who you are. You get to write the story of your life however you want to. Each day is a fresh page, and tomorrow will always offer a brand new opportunity to rewrite and create. The world is yours. As Osho also once said, the greatest fear in the world is the opinion of others. And the moment you are unafraid of the crowd, you are no longer a sheep, you become a lion. A great roar rises in your heart, the roar of freedom. 3, I believe that time heals all wounds. When I was 14 years old, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. I felt hopeless and as if nothing would ever fill the deep sadness I felt in my heart. I suffered overwhelming grief. It consumed my mind and body. I despised my life and myself, and I truly thought I would feel that way forever. I am so grateful to tell you I was very wrong. I am now 18 years old, and I am so thankful I chose daily to stay alive. Even though depression will follow me through my life, it is my responsibility to have hope. A little spark of hope is all we need to keep going. People avoid their pain and try to escape it. However, I do not want to do that. I know that without experiencing pain, I would not be who I am today. Without experiencing heartbreaks and loss, I would not be as wise and empathetic as I am today. Pain is a teacher. It makes and shapes us. We cannot run or hide from it. We cannot go around it, over it, or under it. All we can do is mindfully walk through it. It can be the most beautiful opportunity to learn who we are. I encourage you to please always remember that it is okay to be sad, it is okay to cry, and it is okay to ask for help. In closing, I want to share what Willard and its spectacular staff mean to me. Willard is the only school in Missoula where students are allowed to truly express who they really are. It is a safe place without judgment from teachers or students, and that's the way it should be. Willard is a high school where the teachers truly invest themselves and their time in getting to know students and in helping them grow. The teachers here not only care, they understand. At Willard, students are treated like thinking, creative, valuable adults with limitless life potential. It is so important to cherish that and hold on to it for as long as you can. I want to remind all of the teachers of how spectacular and important you are, because I think a lot of the time you forget or don't realize how much of an impact you have on all of our lives. I could truly write for days about every teacher I've watched change the life of every student at Willard. Teaching has never just been a job for you, it's a passion and a calling. I have watched these teachers impart a lifetime hunger for knowledge in students. They've instilled values of compassion, hard work, bravery, integrity, and commitment in all of us. Thank you for shaping young minds and for overcoming the ongoing challenges of an extremely complicated education system while dedicating yourselves to achieving as much as possible for your students. Thank you for your patience and for the unrelenting kindness you never fail to show us. Thank you for the guidance you give as we are learning and growing, and for being the contradiction of every negative generalization people may make about teachers. Thank you for giving young adults such as myself the confidence and courage to never give up. Finally, I encourage any of the Willard students that are attending this ceremony to please respect every one of the teachers and staff at Willard, and please always remember to respect one another. Leave hate out of the school. Please respect yourselves and your school by cleaning up after yourselves, and importantly, never give up. Please show up. Even when you feel like you can't get out of bed, do it anyway. There were times when my mom forced me to go, even on my gloomiest days, and I would always finish out the school day and be so glad that I ended up going. There are so many students from other schools who would kill for a position at this phenomenal school. I would also like to quickly congratulate the class of 2018. I would like to thank you for being the family that we all chose to be a part of. We have all watched one another grow in many ways, shapes, and forms. We are the change the world needs to see. You have all worked so hard to get here. After days wanting to give up, you did not. I hope you are all incredibly proud of yourselves for the dedication, resilience, and goals you have and will continue to accomplish. Don't forget that we will always stick together, no matter which paths life chooses to takes us down. In closing, I would like to share a quote that expresses my feelings and summarizes my speech. The self-described black, lesbian, mother, warrior poet Audre Lorde said, "When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid." Thank you.
Thank you, Tilly. That was lovely. I am fortunate to have the opportunity to introduce our next speaker. I've known this person since he was a freshman. The lucky few get to start their high school time at Willard. So I've had a lot of time to spend with Brandon and to see him grow and try things and excel at things and succeed and make mistakes and fail badly and come back and not give up. I met him for the first time when he took a guitar class, and I think he still plays today. He was a film facilitator for a film class. Students proposed to Bonnie and Jane a few years ago to facilitate a discussion group with their peers about film. And he did that for several trimesters. And it was wonderful to be able to see him grow as a teacher, more than just in his role as a student. Although being a teacher is like being a student as well. The highlight for me, too, was Brandon joining the Willard Wire. And he contributed hours upon hours to the Willard Wire. Everything he had for 2 years straight. He would give up weekends and spend sometimes 10-hour days working on the design, photography. I loved his dedication and appreciated it. It inspired me as a teacher. It's why teachers want to be there, and when you get to see it and experience it, it fills you with energy too. So I'm very appreciative for his dedication. I love his meticulousness. Even though it can be painstaking, I do understand it, and I love it. I would rather see someone be meticulous and care about what they're doing and take a long time versus slap something on the paper to be done because it's an assignment versus something they care about. I love his passion for doing something well, for taking risks, for being willing to reflect and learn from things, the mistakes, the things that are done well, what he would like to do differently. He's gone through quite a few growing pains this year. It happens, and it's going to happen again at some point in his life, as many of you know here. It doesn't end just because you have a year in your high school career where you have some growing pains because you're trying to figure it out. It happens again. But what I've loved to see is that he has really figured out what he does want and what he doesn't want. And that transition, he's in that transition right now. So I feel like he's come full circle. He's come back doing this speech tonight, chosen by peers, loved by his teachers. He's back to himself. Doesn't come easily, doesn't mean that some things haven't been tough. But one thing I do know is that I consider this person, Brandon Anderson, family. I hope we always stay connected through our love of writing
and photography and design and just speaking what we believe in to the community in which we live. And he's just a wonderful person. So let's hear what he has to say.
I hope not many of you are lactose intolerant because the second half of my speech, well, the words from the second half of my speech are coated with a layer of cheddar cheese. I think that is the only joke I have. All right, I guess I want to start with the best, most meaningful compliment I have ever received from anybody. I received last year on graduation day, coming from the speech of one Ricky Guerin, a man who I hardly knew at the time. And what he said was that he thought of me as the personification of Willard. And this meant the world to me, and for very good reason. I first arrived at Willard my freshman year in December of 2014. And I remember the first evening I arrived at school for orientation. I walked in and immediately saw the old staircases, an interesting architectural choice. And on the ledge, there was a paper informing the reader that orientation was to be located downstairs at 6 p.m. It was hosted by the former counselor, Bonnie, who had been the spirit of Willard for many years. I don't remember a whole lot from her presentation, other than when she had said that everybody who was going to Willard was there by choice. Because I was not there by choice. I felt that I was there by ultimatum. Felt as if I was either going to go to Willard or face possible expulsion. That night, I very quickly remarked upon how similar the Willard building looked to a prison from the first floor. The gate around the balcony functioning as a rail, as well as the very obviously stunted budget, etc. Later, after I began to attend the school, I realized my perception wasn't accurate at all. It was all a part of the aesthetic. There was a very unique atmosphere to the building. Student artwork lining the walls. And each room had a very distinct atmosphere, as if each room had a very different point that it was trying to make. This, in and of itself, made Willard a haven for the intelligent, hippie-esque culture, the alternative crowd. The building, I believe, is the main aspect that gives Willard its image of alternative in terms of grunge, unique personality, and artistic thought, rather than alternative in the sense of drugs and crime and, less than savory characters. I frequently heard people refer to the school as having a family environment. Considering its non-confrontational embrace of style and friendly low population. After my second year, however, I never heard that sort of description again. Willard changes vastly from trimester to trimester. I did not like Willard my first year. Then again, I wouldn't have liked any place. I was rather embarrassed to be going to the school. But starting my sophomore year, my attachment to the school experienced a radical change. For years, I never knew why, but for a very long period of time, there was one phrase that I always found sailing through my mind. And if you went to the previous graduation, you already know this. But there was one phrase I already found sailing through my mind. One phrase that whenever I caught it sailing, or heard somebody say it, I would feel my stomach sink, my mind fuzz, and my heart break a little bit. The phrase was, "I want to go home." As simple as that. A phrase that, by itself, holds little to no meaning whatsoever, but meant the entire world to me. Because I always felt like I wanted to go home. I just never knew where that was, but I wanted to see it. This building has absolutely been the closest thing to a home I've ever had. And I know there are plenty of other people who have felt the same way, which really makes demolition of the building a crying shame. Especially through my sophomore, junior, and part of my senior years, I would spend far more time at the school than I would at even my own apartment, as Lisa already mentioned. I was preoccupied with extracurricular activities such as the Willard Wire, for which I was the head designer, editor, and one of the photojournalists, as well as the film class for which I was facilitator, which I started facilitating along with my friend Aurora, who eventually became Shane Finley, which brought about my favorite trimester in the film class. Then after that, I became the lone facilitator. This entailed the designing of curriculum, grading of journal entries and assignments, designation of assignments, and grading participation as well as attendance. This provided me with complete artistic control, which I adored very dearly. And nearly all of this work of journalism and film took place in the classroom of Lisa Waller, which will always hold a piece of my heart. Every time I try and picture my ideal life where I'm happy, I always find myself in that room with some people that are no longer in my life. My freshman year was undoubtedly my worst academically, me being a far different person than who I was to become over the next 2 years, due to 14 being the age where I began to grow a mind of my own. However, this was also the year I began to express interest in subjects and topics that would later define me, albeit I was interested in them for the wrong reasons. My sophomore year is what I consider to be the first year where I was truly myself. My junior year was where my high school career peaked, although I did become absorbed by certain things and people. For my junior and senior years, I had the pleasure of representing Willard to the school board as student trustee every month on MCAT. Hi, Mr. Thing. And then my senior year was definitely the worst, giving even my academic ineptitude freshman year a run for its money. This was the result of many external factors, manifesting themselves in probable psychosis and poor decision-making, as well as super supreme misery. It also had to do with those close to me who have come and gone. Once you blend colors, the original ones die. And I miss the parts of my past. Very particular parts. I believe a big part of adulthood is always being ready and willing. I was always willing, though I was never quite ready. I've also always maintained that it is possible to break from the nature-nurture spectrum. I like to think it's completely possible to meticulously design your personality to be exactly who you want to be, so you can break away from poor role models, parents you don't want to be like, etc. Or perhaps to design yourself in a way that avoids a personality you don't wish to live with. I think some people would agree that it is a very life-consuming struggle, realizing that your view of reality is so biased and distorted that you have to erase everything you've ever learned and known, then start raising yourself again from scratch. True objectivity is impossible. Nobody has ever been completely objective, ever. Because we are human beings, therefore, by definition, we are biased. Reality being a Rorschach test. But that doesn't mean that the ideas shouldn't be pursued. And I'm not talking Ayn Rand's neo-sociopathic political objectivism, which is what I believe to be completely contradictory in and of itself. I mean the pursuit of all abandonment of all biases, not of all emotion. You can't know whether you're doing the right thing if you don't feel. But, what the grad is reality anyways. I think that the saddest, most poetic thing imaginable is the passage of time. Then I believe that the most beautiful thing of all time is perseverance, which, very logically, makes some of these students, and some of the past students, some of the most beautiful things I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. My freshman year, I was a dunce. My sophomore year, I buried myself in books and art films. My junior year, I dedicated all my time to my work for the school. Then my senior year, I did nothing but drown. I've always maintained that the worst kind of guilt a man can experience is that which occurs when he makes a hypocrite of himself. And I've absolutely done a very good deal of this, but I think many others have too. But alas, I think that I'm coming back to my senses and I'm becoming the person who I used to be. I don't think a lot of people respect the magic behind a day like this. Such a massive part of your existence just being forgotten, especially in a school like ours. All the moments of warm comfort you felt, no matter how few or many, all the friends you made, all the ways the details around you affected your subconscious and your state of mind that most don't realize until the details are gone. All the words you said, all that inspired you, all those you inspired, all that disturbed you, all the people you despised, all the failures, all the successes, all that you silently promised to remember inside those walls and out. All that you did or didn't do, regret and respect, regret and respect, and everything that you felt inside the building is now gone forever. No, I don't think a whole lot of people respect the magic and meaning behind this day. But these students do. Because being alternative means that although we might miss what others catch, we most certainly see what others overlook. It's an inevitability, a fact of life, a fact of strife. For every deficit we may have in our life experiences, we bring something completely new and foreign to humanity that balances those who are normal and have normal life experiences. Different, not deficient. Normal is a myth, because everyone is different. So if you ever meet somebody who's normal, that person would be weird. And these students, who have come to Willard for a variety of reasons, I like it. It feels like an encore. Okay, but all these students who have come to Willard for a variety of reasons, must have far different respect and outlook of this day than many other students elsewhere. Because this is a very diverse group. I know all of them, or, most of them. And I know that we are all very remarkably different people, as is any group of people anywhere. But we all have one thing in common. We all have one thing that we can relate to one another, one thing that connects us. That is that we are all terrified. One thing that I know I've lost this year is my potency of memory. Whether this is due to chaos, stress, or drugs, I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Whether it's temporary, I don't know. But I believe that memory is one's most powerful asset in sealing their legacy or making it known to others who they are. Through memory, moments and events, private or public, are made immortal. Without memory, there can be no meaning. I don't remember, say, if I didn't remember whether or not I ate today, it wouldn't matter because I wouldn't notice. What I mean to say is memory is very fickle. But one thing I know is that we are all going to remember this. We are all going to remember the emotion behind this day. We're all going to remember tonight, and we are all going to remember Willard, even if the details flee through our memories. I will always love hating this year. Banksy once wrote that the artist is a child who survived. And if that's not the truth, then I have no idea what is. In my heart, we'll always be sitting in Lisa's room, listening to the record player, next to all those I've loved, designing the next issue and planning the next film with the love of my life, anxiety and self-betterment. But us as graduates, we are now on our way to the world. We finally met our 13-year goal. It is over. It's like the end of a career. Being honest, I can't remember the last time I didn't feel miserable, at least in the back of my mind. I miss many people in many moments desperately. But at least for the moment, I'm happy.
I would like to invite Superintendent Mark Thing to come up and say a few words before we get started with the graduates.
Thank you. And if Tilly and Brandon are representative of what we have on stage tonight, I think we're in great hands. How about another round of applause? I am going to take issue with one thing Brandon said, and that is that really tonight's not the end. We're here to celebrate graduation. It's your 13-year experience. Well, we often refer to graduation as commencement, and to commence means to begin, and that's really what tonight's about. For the past 13 years, you've largely been told what to do and when to do it. Tonight's a transition. Now your destiny truly is in your own hands, and it's up to you to seize the opportunities that exist. Right before entering this building tonight, I took a walk around campus, past the Phyllis Washington College of Education, the Anderson Hall, which is the journalism building, the forestry building, the Payne Native American Center, and entered the music building. And you think about all the possibilities that exist for people such as yourselves right here in this campus. Some of you will choose to go to post-secondary education. Some of you will choose to go to the world of work. Some of you may choose to go to the military. But the past 13 years have been about helping shape who you are and help you understand who you are and help you develop the tools so that you can seize the opportunities before you. So tonight I offer my congratulations but I also encourage you to make sure that you seize what's before you. Richard Bach once wrote, "You're never granted a wish without also being given the power to make it come true." So tonight I hope that you'll seize that power, that you'll recognize your wish, and that you'll do everything within your power to make it come true. With that, I'll transition to the more formal proclamation tonight, and it's my honor as Superintendent of Missoula County Public Schools, and by the authority vested in me by the Montana Office of Public Instruction, to present to you tonight the Willard class of 2018 as having completed all the requirements to be considered graduates from Missoula County Public Schools and Willard Alternative High School. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2018.
I'm the school counselor for Willard Alternative High School. I've been introducing myself as the new Bonnie, and many of you guys remember Bonnie. She's left some large shoes to fill, and it's been my privilege and my honor to work with these students this year and be part of this wonderful staff. So let's get down to why we came. So I'm going to give you a little bit more instructions because we didn't get a chance to practice. So I'm going to call names. Kevin's going to stand in the middle, and we've designed this for maximum photo opportunities. So please come down. Don't be shy. Kevin's going to stand in the middle. He's going to greet all the graduates. They're going to come by me, and I have a certificate for everybody. They're going to come down the stairs, and we're going to ask Julie and Mark and Marcia to come and greet the graduates. You're going to go around the back stairs and then find your seats again. Okay? And we'll give you plenty of time to hoot and holler and take pictures. Yeah, I like that. Okay. We're going to start with the back, all right? Freedom Mitchell. Chrislyn Moore. Casey Cooper. Desiree Go. Madeline Harris. Mary Culligan. Pride Old Dwarf. Okay, Travis Keegan. Andrew Lance. Tristan Wetzel. John Bullen. Cameron Wilkes. Jason Ronjasic. Preston Bailey. Tyree Lavoie. Jenny Galbaby. Ashlyn Paskey. Jillian Gonzalez. Sarah Valen. All right, on this side we have Braden Hardy. Michael Shears. Jaya Catales. Miles Steele Bordwell. Evan Tabler. Brandon Anderson. Jasmine McMillan. Tamika Hernandez. Savannah Anderson. Francesca Barber. Madeline Braun. Sylvianne Wright. Mariah Myers. Shaylin Burklow. Marcia Myers. Reagan Musket. Miranda Blodgett. Serenity Cole Hartz. Matilda Kushner.
Thank you so much. You're doing an amazing job.
How fun is this? Joseph Firestone. Okay, one last time. Here's the graduating class of 2018. Okay, we have one last piece. Are we ready to go? Okay. So, who left? You can turn your chairs around. So if you guys wouldn't mind turning your chairs around and come to the center, we're going to have a slideshow for all of you. I just want to let everyone in the audience know as they're moving their chairs, the number of hours that Willard staff has devoted to creating these slideshows. Maria spent many, many hours putting together the first slideshow you saw as you came in, and Lisa spent hours and hours coming up with or helping compile this one too. So I'd like to thank them for all of their hard work in preparing this for the students. So thank you very much, Lisa and Maria. My apologies if I missed anybody else that also helped in the creation of these documents. So, are we good to go? Or she has to log in? Okay. Pardon the technical difficulties.
Francie just asked if we could leave, and that's a wrap. Thank you so much for your attendance. We really appreciate it.